What's up, Rocket family? So today's the official Christmas DIY season kickoff here on my channel with a bunch of Christmas DIYs in this video. If you enjoyed the video, please show your support by leaving a Christmas tree emoji. Now let's begin. For our first DIY, you're going to need punch bowls from Dollar Tree. This step is not necessary, but I'm going to be creating a hole at the bottom of one of the punch bowls using a Dremel. I'm making a hole so that I can feed fairy lights through that hole. I then glue a bowl that has a hole to one that doesn't. Dollar Tree carries a bunch of different bowls. I really like this 4-pack and then the 6-pack of round mini bowls I'm going to be using and clear shower curtains. We're going to be making jumbo ornaments, so I'm using these mini bowls to make the top look more like an ornament. I would play around with different size bowls so you can get different variations of height with your ornament. I use some hot glue to attach these pieces just because hot glue dries right away. I then feed remote controlled fairy lights through the bottom of my ornaments. These are so easy to do. I ended up using some plain punch bowls from Dollar Tree to add some height to the ornaments. With one 4-pack of tiny bowls, one 6-pack of mini round bowls, 1 pack of shower curtains, and 8 punch bowls, you can make 4 ornaments at $13.75 plus tax. I'm so excited about this DIY. I got some wood rounds from Dollar Tree. They have a bunch of different sizes. I'm using a 12-inch piece, a 10-inch piece, and then an 8-inch piece. I'm going to start off by taking the 12-inch piece, putting down some glue, and on top of that, I'm going to glue down this wreath ring that's made of MDF board, and then on top of that MDF ring, I'm gluing down another 12-inch piece. Dollar Tree carries a bunch of chunky wood slats in different sizes. I'm going to use 2 8-inch pieces and 1 6-inch piece. We're using all of these wood pieces to make a Christmas tree shape. So I glue the 8-inch piece on top of the bottom wood round. I then glue my wood round that has about 10 inches in circumference. On top of that, I glue down the 6-inch chunky wood slat. On top of that 6-inch piece, I glued down a wood wreath that I got from Dollar Tree that is about 8 inches in circumference. Then I took an 8-inch chunky slat, cut it in half, and glued that on top of the smaller wood wreath. I'm going to paint over the wood. I used a brown acrylic paint mixed with some water so it's a little bit thinner. I got this star topper from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue this at the very top of my wood tree. So I have seen these Christmas Village trees forever. I decided to create my own. So I got some garland from Dollar Tree and I'm going to glue it along the edges of each wood round. I just use hot glue to do this. It works perfectly fine. Dollar Tree carries so many items that are great for a Christmas village. So I got a bunch of little houses from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use wood blocks that I also got from Dollar Tree to add some height to some of the houses. I got some fake snow from Dollar Tree that I'm going to put all over the wood. I got some small bottle brush trees I'm going to glue on top of this, and Dollar Tree also got a bunch of little characters that are perfect for this, so little people, Santa Claus, a snowman. That's how I made this Christmas tree Christmas village using Dollar Tree products. It honestly is so easy to do. You can use screws if you want to. You can go to the hardware store, get bigger wood rounds to make a big Christmas tree. There's so many different options than what I just showed you, but hopefully this inspires you to make one of your own, and this looks so good as a centerpiece. For our next project, you're going to get 2 pieces of black foam board and you are going to roll each piece. Once you get it into a cylinder shape, you're going to seal it by using some hot glue, and you can even use zip ties if your hot glue isn't gluing properly. Hold the foam in place as you wait for the glue to completely dry. Now you're going to glue these 2 foam board pieces to a pizza pan from Dollar Tree. Just flip it over and glue down. On top of the foam board pieces, I'm going to glue down a laundry basket from Dollar Tree. And then on top of that laundry basket, I glue down 2 more laundry baskets. We're going to need poster board. Dollar Tree carries a bunch of different colors. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the poster board around the laundry baskets, creating a nutcracker. So I put the gold down. For some reason, this didn't record. I used 2 pieces of gold down there, and then I used red right above the gold. The gold poster board actually wedges between the bottom and middle laundry basket perfectly. I cut down some red foam board, roll it, and then glue it to create the arms for my nutcracker. I had this beige craft foam that I paid 99 cents for 2 pieces from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use that for the head. You can get poster board, paint it, but this has such a cleaner look to it. And then I take a black piece of foam board and I wrap that around the top of the head. Then I just glue down the head. For my nutcracker's hair, and then in the center of the nutcracker, I'm going to be using some dusters from Dollar Tree. So you can buy felt and craft foam, but the craft foam is much smaller from Dollar Tree, and use these to create the details for your nutcracker. I recommend doing this versus painting over the poster board. Why? Because paint can warp the poster board, and also if you make a mistake, it is so hard to fix it, because once you make that mistake, you're going to have to color correct to the poster board
board and that makes a big mess, just make everything out of craft foam or felt and then glue that down, and it's so much easier. For the hands, I just used the beige craft foam that I had left over. I just rolled it up and then shoved it into the arms and they just stay put. Beside craft foam and felt for the details, there was only one other thing that I used, and that was ribbon. I used it to create some designs along the arms and then on top of the chest. I love him so much. He is just under 7 feet tall. I would say that this is really just for the season unless you have somewhere to store it. You just have to be careful because it can knock into things, damaging the poster board. However, if you take this apart, you can still save the head, you can save the laundry baskets, the leg, and the pizza pan. The only stuff you'll have to throw away is probably the poster board, because once you take it off of the laundry basket, the poster board will rip. This cost me around $20 to make. I am absolutely in love with him. One of my favorite Christmas DIYs ever.
I hope you guys are enjoying the DIY so far. If you are, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not, and let me know what your favorite DIY is so far. Now let's continue.
When I look back at the tutorials my channel is known for, my hot cocoa bar and sweets bars are definitely one of those. So we're going to do another hot cocoa bar, but let me tell you, this is my favorite one I've ever done. So I'm going to start off with these wood boxes from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue 3 of them side by side using wood glue, and I'm going to do 2 sets of these. Now I got 9 wood crates from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue 3 side by side, making 3 sets of these. Actually, one of the sets is left over from my Halloween sweets bar. 2 of the sets I made, I'm going to glue on top of each other with the bottoms facing upward. I got 2 18-inch wood slats from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the wood boxes that I glued together and I'm going to glue them in an angle to those wood slats. Once that completely dries, I glue it to the stack of wood crates that I created. Here's the thing, you can always use screws if you want to. Just because I don't do it or because I do it doesn't mean you always have to. For this piece, I wanted it to be super secure, everything to stick together, so I just used small screws. The last set of 3 crates that I had, I placed in front of this unit and then I painted the entire thing red. For my labels, I'm going to be using these chalkboard tag clothespins. I removed the clothespins off of the back. I used 2 packs total, and I glued these to the front of the boxes and the bottom crates. Now it's time to fill this up. Now if you didn't seal the wood so that it's food safe and you want to put some loose food inside of the crates and the boxes, what you can do is you can get some plastic goodie bags from Dollar Tree and cut them so they're a little bit shorter, but they lay inside of the boxes and the crates so that the food you're sticking inside of there is not touching the paint at all. Also, if you want to put things like cookies inside of there, but you want to leave this out for the season, make sure you put the cookies inside of little individual bags. That way they don't go stale on you. So I glued this all together in a way where I left a space to put these small little mugs on the crates. The mugs are from Dollar Tree minus the Santa Claus one, which I think I got from Hobby Lobby. I have done countless sweet bars on this channel. The first one I ever did was a hot chocolate bar, and this by far is my favorite bar I've ever done. I love the way that this looks. I love that it is big enough but yet small enough to fit inside of a tiny kitchen like mine. It looks so pretty and I feel like I could take this and make it even better. We'll see what I have up my sleeve for Valentine's Day. Pottery Barn sells this wreath for $149. I know we can do. I'm using pool noodles as my wreath form. I got duct tape and I'm going to attach 2 by the ends with duct tape, and then I'm going to figure out how big I want the outer portion of my wreath to be, cut off any excess pool noodle I don't need, and then attach those 2 ends to get the main circle. To make this a nice full wreath with lots of ornaments, I'm going to put another pool noodle inside of the main circle that I made, so I have a bigger circle and a smaller circle, and then I attach those pool noodles all together. This gives you a nice base for the ornaments versus the wire wreath form from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree carries a bunch of ornaments with different finishes that are great for this project, so I wouldn't say that the color of the gold is perfect to the one from Pottery Barn, but it's close enough. I'm using 7 of the 12 count silver ornaments from Dollar Tree. I go ahead and I remove the back off of all my ornaments and then I start to glue them down, and then I also used 2 packs of the gold ornaments from Dollar Tree, the 12 count ones. I use hot glue to attach all of the ornaments, so I also use the small ornaments from Dollar Tree. They come in a 12 pack, and I'll say that the gold ones are more of a yellow gold. That's all they had. They didn't have anything that was similar to the bigger gold ones that I use, so I just had to use what I had, and those were the more yellow gold ones. In total, I used 7 12-count silver ornaments, 2 12-count gold ornaments, 2 12-count each of the small silver and gold ornaments, and 2 pool noodles. This cost me under $20 to make. If you do not have duct tape, it will cost you around $20. If you don't have hot glue, you know, there's different factors. But from Dollar Tree, the main products cost me under $20 to make. This is such a pretty glam wreath. I've done wreaths like this in the past before. The one you see right here, I have had for 3 years now, and it's one of my favorite wreaths. This is such an easy, quick DIY. You're going to get a candy jar with lid from Dollar Tree, as well as one of their scallop containers. They have these in a bunch of different colors. You're going to flip your container over and then glue the jar to the bottom of the container. I got some silver, black, and white craft foam. I'm going to cut out pieces that look like the bottom of a gumball machine, so where you put your quarter in, where you spin the gumball machine, and where the gumball actually comes out. Once I have those pieces cut out, I then glue them to the container. This is basically supposed to look like a gumball machine. For my gumballs, I am just going to be using some pom-poms. I stick inside of the jar. I didn't fill it up all the way just because I would need a lot of pom-poms. That's it. You can use this for decoration. You can put it inside of a Christmas tree. You don't have to put gumballs inside of there. You can use these for your hot cocoa bar setup. There's so many things you can do with this, but they're just so cute and easy to do. For this DIY, you're going to pick up some candles at Dollar Tree. I would go with colors that look like coffee or hot chocolate. I preheat my oven to 300 degrees, and once it's ready, I place my candles inside of the oven on top of a pizza pan. I got these glass mugs from Dollar Tree. Make sure anything you use does not have a label on the bottom that says no heat. I also purchased these wicks from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to glue one of them to the center of my mug. It took about 20 minutes for the wax to completely melt. I take the candles out of the oven and then remove the wicks that are inside of the candle. I can save them for a different DIY. I just had long tweezers to do this. I poured all the wax inside of a candle pourer, and then I pour that into the glass mug. I then grab a pencil and wrap the wick around the pencil. This keeps the wick center as you wait for the wax to dry. Now I got some wax melts from Dollar Tree, some white ones, and I'm going to cut them up, making little tiny pieces that I can mold with my fingers to make them look like marshmallows. I would go with a different set than what I grabbed. I grabbed jasmine, not realizing that I grabbed jasmine. After the wax in the mug completely hardened, I just melt the top with a heat gun and put my little marshmallows inside of there, so this way they go inside of the drink versus just kind of floating on the top of it. Once everything hardens, I cut down the wick to about 3/4 of an inch, and then it's good to go. How cute is this candle? You can use it just as decor. I love the way that this turned out. Let me know if you guys want to see a Christmas candle video from me again. You guys saw those ghosts I made during Halloween using tomato cages. We're going to reuse the tomato cages for a Christmas DIY. So you're going to take your tomato cage and then tie the very top of it so it makes a point. I'm using zip ties to do this. Wrap Christmas lights around the tomato cages. To make sure they stay in place, I use zip ties, and also using zip ties makes it so I don't have to wrap the lights all around. I could really just go straight up and down across the tomato cages with the zip ties. Now you're going to need some green fabric. I found this beautiful sequin fabric at Hobby Lobby for 40% off. I got 5 yards, and 5 yards I'm going to use over 3 tomato cages that are all 3 different sizes. I placed the fabric over my smallest tree, then trim it down, take the fabric again and place it over my medium tree and cut that down. I want this to look like there's ornaments on it, so to do that I'm using this vase filler from Dollar Tree. I'm using the gold and silver pack, and I'm just gluing the balls directly to the fabric. I wanted to do this because it would be lightweight versus getting actual ornaments from Dollar Tree and having to glue those on. Finally, I got some tree toppers from Dollar Tree. I removed the bottom off of it, and then I just open it up and put it around the top of the tomato cages, and this is how they turned out. They are so pretty. It's so easy to take those tomato cages and just convert them for the Christmas season. Absolutely gorgeous and real easy to do. Last year I used Dollar Tree punch bowls and fluted bowls to make jumbo candies. We're going to do that again, but a little bit different so we can make a stack of these. I glue the fluted bowls to the bottom of the punch bowls. I'm using a mixture of E6000 and hot glue. E6000 gives this a strong hold, while hot glue just dries quickly, giving me the instant hold that I need. Before we attach the punch bowls together, we created holes on the side of the punch bowl, so 2 on opposite sides of each punch bowl. Then we're going to take some zip ties and put them through the holes. The reason I'm doing doing this is because I'm going to use the zip ties to attach 4 stacks of candy on top of each other. So I put the zip tie through one candy and then take that same zip tie and go through the holes of another candy, then zip tying it in place. So like I said, I have 4 on top of each other. And feeding the zip ties through the holes once the bowl closes isn't as hard as it looks. You just got to bend the front of the zip tie and then feed it through the hole. Once all the candies are attached, we take the Dremel again and create holes on the back of the candies to feed some more zip ties through. These are going to tie around a white broom handle from Dollar Tree. So I place the broom handle on the back of the candies and then I zip tie them into place. We're going to be using this red bucket that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to place the handle on the back of the bucket, trace it, and then create holes that we're going to feed zip ties through, zip tying the handle in place. If you have a planter, you can use that. You can use pretty much anything, but remember, you want the candy to sit inside of the bowl because this is front heavy. If you're just trying to put the handle inside of the planter or whatever it is that you're using, it's going to fall forward, so keep that in mind. If you put this inside of the ground and deep enough into the ground, it's completely okay. I need to weigh the bucket down first. To do this, I'm just using kitty litter from Dollar Tree. I left it inside of the bag. You get a lot more than you do the stones from Dollar Tree, so I just used 2 bags, place them inside of there, and then I zip tie the broom handle to the back of the bowl. The way I'm covering up my bucket is just by placing a loose piece of candy in the front of it. You can always cover up the bucket or use a planter. Like I said, it's completely up to you. If you want to make this cheaper, you can always make less candy or put this into the ground so you don't need a bucket or the kitty litter. That's how I made the stack of candy using Dollar Tree bowls. For our next DIY, I'm going to be using 13 of these wood boxes with drawers from Dollar Tree. I'll pull the drawers out and then flip them over so that the back is showing. I'm also going to be using the wood rounds from Dollar Tree. These actually can be cut into using scissors because they're so thin. So I'm actually just going to trace a new circle on top of one of the wood rounds and then cut it out so I have smaller pieces. I then paint all of the wood rounds and wood boxes that I have 2 different shades of brown. I'm using 4 wood rounds total, so I'll refer to them as extra small, small, medium, and large. So I start off with the largest wood round and glue 5 boxes on top of that. I then glue down my medium-sized wood round on top of those 5 boxes. Then I glue down 4 boxes onto the medium wood round. On top of those boxes, I glued down my small wood round, and so basically, again, it's supposed to look like a Christmas tree, but this time around it has wooden boxes. This is inspired by an advent calendar that you can get at Hobby Lobby, but it's so hard to find, and I'm only using 13 boxes because each one of these is $1.25. If I used 25 boxes, this would be pretty pricey. So then I'm going to decorate this a little bit by adding some bottle brush trees from Dollar Tree. Drawers need some knobs, so I'm just going to use this would-be wreath I also got from Dollar Tree. I'll cut into it so I could take the beads off. I then glue those to the drawers. I then decided to make the drawers look like little gingerbread houses, so I took a white paint pen and I started to paint some details onto what would be the houses, and then I took some red paint and green paint to make it stand out a little bit more, make it look like there's peppermint and Christmas lights. I got these gingerbread men stickers at Hobby Lobby, half off. They're $2.50. I'm going to glue a bunch of them to this. Dollar Tree just carry these small gingerbread men that you have to paint over, and honestly, to get them to look this detailed, you'll have a very hard time because they're tiny. So it's easier just to go buy them for $2.50 at Hobby Lobby. I used 2 packs. I got this mini tree topper from Dollar Tree. I cut it down and then I glue it on top of this. So I have this tree looking advent calendar. It kind of reminds me of the village that we just made, except this one is an advent calendar. You can fill it up with treats or sweets, whatever you want. It's so nice. It looks very high end. For this next project, you're going to need a snow globe. This DIY is inspired by Wicked Makers on YouTube. They created this moving potion bottle, so I decided to do something similar with a snow globe. Now, I had to figure out how to make this work because you cannot glue things on the bottom of the snow globe because we're going to be putting something else inside of there. So instead, I'm gluing Christmas trees to the inside side of the snow globe, so not the bottom plastic piece. I fill the snow globe up with water and then I pour in some glycerin. The glycerin makes it so that any fake snow, glitter, or powder you put inside of your snow globe falls down more slowly. I'm going to pour some mica powder inside of this. I just got it at Hobby Lobby. I like the look of this much more than the fake snow and glitter. Here's where the magic happens. Put a screwdriver inside of your snow globe. You don't want it to be too big. Put the cap back onto the snow globe. I use my hot glue gun to seal it off just to make sure no water seeped through. I then take the very bottom cap cap and I cut into the bottom of it. The reason being is I don't need two plastic pieces stopping what we're going to use from touching the screwdriver. We need the screwdriver to spin. To spin it, we need magnets and a motor. The motor I'm using is a fan that I got at Dollar Tree. I removed the foam parts of the fan off. Like I said, you're gonna need magnets. I got these magnets from Hobby Lobby. I glue 3 of them on top of the quarter. I did try Dollar Tree magnets. They carry them. They just weren't strong enough for this DIY. I got this gift box that almost looks like a book from Dollar Tree. I placed my snow globe on top of the box and then I trace around it. I then take scissors and I cut where I trace, but I don't make it exactly as big as that hole is. Otherwise, when I place the snow globe on top of this, it's just gonna fall through. Once I've done that, I glue my fan inside of this box, making sure that the magnets are where the hole is. You don't want the magnets to touch directly underneath the snow globe, otherwise it's going to attach to the screwdriver and do nothing. You want there to be just enough space so when you turn on your fan, the magnets make the screwdriver spin and then it makes the snow globe powder move around without you having to shake it. When the fan spins, the box moves a little bit, so you need to weigh it down. I just use gems to make sure they don't get in the way of the fan from spinning. Then you just want to style this. I put this on top of a decorative Christmas book. I glued back on the Santa Claus that I had to take off. I got some bottle brush trees from Dollar Tree, both mini and large ones that I glued to this. The little reindeer I got for $4.99 at Michael's, and then I got some little miniatures also from Dollar Tree like snowman and Christmas tree I put on top of this. Thanks to Wicked Makers for the blueprint of this idea. Like I said, they did a potion bottle, so I really wanted to turn this into something for Christmas. I used a screwdriver instead. They put a magnet inside of the snow globe, but I found that the screwdriver does a really good job of spinning a larger surface. I will say though, the screwdriver is louder when it spins versus the magnet. How cool is this DIY? I always try to bring you guys something unique with my holiday videos. I also did a red one that looks a little bit more like a potion bottle. This is just so cool and easy to do. If you want to make a smaller nutcracker, you most definitely can by getting these small baskets from Dollar Tree. These are smaller than the laundry baskets. And again, you just want to get 3 of them. You're going to remove the handles off of them and then you're going to glue them together. A lot of this is pretty much the same thing. I used foam board for the legs, a pizza pan as the main base. The legs I'm using are actually from my Frankenstein I made during Halloween. And once I have those down, I then just put my baskets on top of the foam. Beside the fact that this is smaller, it doesn't take up as much space inside of your home. It's cheaper to make because you don't need as much poster board. You only need 3 pieces of poster board for the main part of the upper body, so the front, back, and then the arms of what is going to be a toy soldier. I didn't want to make 2 nutcrackers. Everything else is pretty much the same. The difference is I did not use dusters for this because it is going to be a toy soldier. And also the main details that's on the clothing, that is all craft foam versus craft foam, poster board, and felt. Oh yeah, and for the arms, I use styrofoam balls. So you can see the toy soldier is smaller than the nutcracker. It's thinner, doesn't take up as much space. So this is a great option if you live in a smaller home. For this DIY, I picked up a gift box from Dollar Tree. I placed a smaller gift box inside of the larger one to dummy up the bottom because I'll be putting things inside of the box. I've been so into vintage Christmas trinket boxes lately, so I'm making my own of sorts. I fill the box up with tinsel. Now the items I'm using aren't exclusively Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree doesn't carry anything to me that gives off those vintage Christmas vibes other than their boxes. The wreath ornament is from Hobby Lobby. I got it for $2, and then the mice are $3 each at Target. I got some tinsel from Dollar Tree and I'm going to glue it to the upper portion of the gift box. I did a few rows of silver tinsel. I then used 1 piece of tinsel to make this look like a basket, and that's how I created my own little trinket vintage Christmas boxes. The other box you see, that elf, is from Home Goods. I know a lot of people find those elves creepy, but I like them because again, I like the vintage looking stuff and it looks vintage to me. Let's make another wreath. Again, I'm going to use a pool noodle. Pool noodles are my favorite base for a wreath form when you're buying something from Dollar Tree. I cut off some of it and then I attached the ends using duct tape. I cut some off because I wanted the wreath form to be a little bit smaller. Dollar Tree carries these mini disco ball ornaments, and that is the inspiration behind this wreath. So you're going to need ornaments that are a little bit bigger for this. I ended up getting some for $3.47 a 6-pack at Walmart, and then $1 ones at 5 below. We'll also end up using the Dollar Tree ornaments, but we need bigger ones to start this off. If you use the Dollar Tree ones, you're gonna need like so many, and it's very hard to find a lot of them. You'll have to go to multiple Dollar Trees, and even then you might not be able to find them. I'm using red, gold, and green ornaments. I did make little holes inside of the pool noodle before I attach each ornament, just because it gives it a better base to adhere to, because you're able to take the end of the ornament and push it through that pool noodle. I will say this is one of my more pricey DIYs. I used 4 packs of the gold Walmart ornaments, and then I used 17 of the disco ball ornaments from Hobby Lobby. So this was under $50 to make. I have never seen a disco ball wreath that looks like this in my life, so it's definitely something that I had to DIY. I can't just go and buy it, but I did found a disco ball wreath and it was pretty expensive. To fill in the gaps, I used the Dollar Tree ornaments, and their little gold ornaments, they're more of a yellow gold versus the Walmart ones. I will say this, one thing I always forget to do when I make ornaments is put my string down first to hang the ornament. I always have to do it after the fact. Anyways, that is how I made this disco ball wreath. I decided to eventually do fairy lights, and then I even tried to do a bow. I didn't like the way it looked with a bow. This one, oh my gosh, look at it. It is so nice, especially when the light reflects off of it. It is gorgeous. I saw these Pottery Barn Premium Flickering Flameless Candles for $69 to $89, and you can kind of make, I wouldn't say it's a dupe, but it is just a knockoff of those candles. So Dollar Tree carries these LED pillar candles right now, beautiful glitter on them, so you can buy those with some white ribbon. Dollar Tree has a bunch of white ribbon in different thicknesses. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue the ribbon around my LED candle. I made some of the candles with a thinner white ribbon and then some with a thicker white ribbon. To give some of these some height, I just put them on top of some candle pillars that I got from Dollar Tree, and that's it. It's so easy to do. You can also flip the candles around, 2 of them, so that the bottoms are touching, so you can make a taller pillar candle, so that's an option. I will say that these candles are not very bright and they definitely glow on the orange side. For our next DIY, I'm going to be using these candy jars from Dollar Tree. I'm not going to be using the lid, and I'm going to paint these. Now you're going to have to do at least 2 layers of paint to get an opaque look. So you'll do your first layer, let it dry, and then go in with your paint to paint on the second layer. Once that's dry, paint on a face. So I'm doing, I call it a dummy face. It just kind of reminds me of those Crash dummies. It's a very basic face. You got some circle eyes, an easy smile, and then a circle nose with some circle cheeks. So I'm just using black and red paints for this. Now Dollar Tree carries these canisters in multiple sizes. I'm going to be using the largest one they carry for this, and I'm going to be painting this red. Again, you're going to have to do at least 2 layers of paint to get an opaque look. Once I have that down, I'm going to start painting features on this. So basically this is going to be a toy soldier. So I'm going to have a black belt on this. I did a white X, and then I did some gold belts. So do whatever you like. I'm just going for that classic toy soldier look. And this is what I mean. You don't always need a Cricut. It's nice because it's so easy to use. Everything comes out perfect, whereas using your hand, you know, lots of times you're going to have imperfections. You're not going to get the straightest line and all that. But you know what? You don't always need a Cricut. There are other options out there if you don't want one. For the arms, I'm going to be using some pool noodles from Dollar Tree. I cut them down and then I painted them with that ruby color because I wanted it to match the rest of the toy soldier. And then for the arms, I'm going to be using some styrofoam balls. Dollar Tree carries styrofoam balls. These are 6 for $4.49, and they are the size of the bigger balls that Dollar Tree tends to carry. What I like about these is it's a smooth foam, so it's easier to paint. If you use the Dollar Tree foam, it's not as smooth, so it's not as easy to paint because it absorbs the paint so much. Now's the time to stock up on planters from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using the smaller ones that they carry for this project. I got a blue one that I wanted to be more of a denim blue color, so I went ahead and I painted that. Once that was dried, I then glue my canister to the inside of this planter. So the planter is supposed to be the legs of the toy soldier, and then the canister is the body. Then I glue on the candy jar. Obviously this is the head. And on top of that, I glue on a black planter. I just flip it upside down and glue that to the candy jar. It only hits on the sides, so that's the only area where you can put glue. On the sides of this, I glued down the pool noodles, which is obviously the arms, and then the styrofoam balls, which are supposed to be the hands. I did paint a little bit more over this, but that is how I made some toy soldiers using Dollar Tree products. I don't know if you guys remember the ones from the 90s that you would find at Walmart. Those are really hard to find now, and they're expensive. This turned out really cool. It was inexpensive to make, and I have multiple styrofoam balls and pool noodle to use for other ones. I did make a golden pink one, and I'll link that down below for you guys my TikTok, because that one's gonna go up on my TikTok account.
So that's it for these Christmas DIYs. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Let me know your favorite down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Pretty soon I'll have some more DIYs for you guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.